I mean, just a lot of happiness. I think, maybe thankful as well. I mean, it was a long week. I felt like this was as hard as I've battled for a tournament in my career. I mean, this was a pretty challenging week. I mean, the first 2 days I did not swing at my best, and I was able to post a score somehow. And, outside of the last 5 holes yesterday, that's where I really kind of put myself ahead in the tournament. And, the back nine today was pretty special as well. But yesterday, the way I finished off that round, I think it was really important for me to have a lead to play with today. And, I played with it a little bit more than I would have liked to. I think at one point in the tournament I was tied for the lead on the back nine, but stepped up when we needed to, and it was a pretty special week. I think the mornings are typically kind of long. I did my best to sleep in. You can only do so much of that with a 1-year-old at home. But yeah, I think it's always simpler for me once I get to the golf course. I'm in my routine, and playing golf for me is always, I think, the easier part. Like once you get out here, it's time to compete and it's time to do your thing, and that's what really is the most fun. Being able to play in the final group of a major championship and play with the lead and have a chance to win is, the most fun that I'll have in my career. I think outside of maybe the team events. But at the end of the day, I was excited for today. I was a little bit anxious. You work your whole lifetime to have a chance to win these tournaments, and I had a great opportunity to win one today. And sometimes I think, yeah, you're right. Maybe you just want to get out there and start playing.
Would you categorize yourself as having competitive fire?
Yeah.
Let's go next to 3, 14, and 12.
Sort of building on that, some athletes just want to win. Others want to kind of crush the opponent. Where do you fall on that continuum?
That's a tough question to answer. Winning is a lot of fun, and I think winning as often as I can is a lot of fun. And each week you're playing in a tournament, you want to try and give yourself a chance to win. And when I step up on the tee on Thursday, I'm not thinking about what's going to happen on Sunday. I'm preparing for a 72-hole event. That's what I tell myself on the first tee. It's 72 holes, and that's a lot of time. That's a lot of holes. It's a lot of shots. And, I always focus on my preparation. And so when I show up on the first tee, I just tell myself to stay patient, remind myself that I'm prepared for this, and to go out and just compete. When I think about the game of golf, my favorite thing to do in golf is probably just when I can be by myself and I can just practice. It's one of the most fun things for me. It's so peaceful. And I love the pursuit of trying to figure something out. That's what I love about this game. And I feel like you're always battling yourself, and you're always trying to figure things out, and you're never going to perfect it. And I can be kind of a crazy person sometimes when it comes to putting my mind to something. And in golf, there's always something you can figure out. There's always something you can do better. And it's a great challenge, and it's a lot of fun. Where's it going to go? I don't know. I have a room in our house called the golf room, and that's where all my crap goes. Literally. It's just a room full of all my golf junk, and I got some trophies in there as well, and so that's probably where this one will go. Yeah.
Is it nicely presented, or is it just kind of like all hanging out?
I'd like to say that it's nicely presented, but it's not. I don't know. I think we put in a lot of work to showing up here to tournaments to try and do our best, and I have a great team around me, all the way down to. I have a manager that keeps my mind clear. I don't have a ton of responsibilities outside of the game of golf. He does a really good job of letting me go play and do my thing, and he knows what's most important for me, and gives me the ability to go do that. I've got a great coach in Randy. I've got a great putting coach in Phil. I've got a great caddy. I've got a great family, a great wife, and a wonderful son. And I feel like off the golf course, my life is wonderful. We live what I would feel like is a pretty simple life at home, and life on the golf course has been great as well. I've been able to win some tournaments, but when we go home, I think sometimes Meredith and I still feel like we're in high school. We have great friends, and we're looking forward to getting home this week and just doing normal stuff with our friends. Celebrating a nice win.
Hey, Scottie, over here on your right. Congratulations, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about your relationship with Randy, and then I'm curious too what maybe the best coaching tip he's ever given you is.
I would say, Randy, he's taught me since I was 7 years old. And so, I can't imagine what that's like from his end. As far as I'm concerned, he's just, he's the one who teaches me how to swing it. And, he's pretty much the only guy I consult when it comes to that kind of stuff. And, he's a bit of a crazy person at times, but he's pretty much a savant when it comes to teaching me the golf swing, and he's a pretty special guy as well. And I'm thankful for what he's taught me in the game of golf and in life as well. I felt like Randy always did. I mean, it's hard to really boil it down to one thing, but I felt like throughout the entire time he taught me, he always did a really good job of helping us all stay patient. I think especially when you're as competitive, I think, as I am, when you're younger and things aren't going the way they're supposed to. Randy always did a really good job of reminding me that it was a long journey to become good at golf. You're going to have ups and downs, and I kind of fought my body for a while there in college, fought some growth spurts in high school, and I wasn't always the best player. I always felt like I could be the best player, but I was a good junior player, a good amateur player, and I did a good job kind of rising up the ranks and in professional golf. And Randy was always right there by my side, helping me stay patient and teaching me little things along the way.
Was your driver one of the ones tested this week?
Yeah.
And did you have to make any change?
Yeah.
And how did that go? Did that have anything to do with hitting it left today?
No, I think that was my fault. No, so the driver testing is something that regularly happens on tour. My driver did fail at the beginning of this week. We had a feeling that it was going to be coming because I had used that driver for over a year. And so I was kind of fortunate for it to last that long, I felt like. And I would argue that if we're going to test the drivers, we need to be even more robust in the way we test them. And that was a conversation I had with one of the rules officials is I think if it's something that we're going to take seriously, I feel like we're almost going kind of halfway with it right now, where if we're going to test only a third of the field, I mean, if we're going to do it right, leave it up to us as players like the rest of the rules in the game of golf are. This is it's a newer rule that we haven't quite gotten right yet. And I think we have some stuff to figure out. And I think if we're going to do it, we might as well do it right and get even more robust, even more strict. And you can test guys every week if you want. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't. It's really hard to describe like what it's like. We kind of describe it as being in the arena. I don't think you can really understand what it's like in the arena until you step in it, and it's all on the line. I've prepared my entire life to become somewhat decent at this game, and to have a chance to win a tournament that I've dreamed about as a kid is a pretty cool feeling. And when you step up out on the first tee, it's pretty dang cool. There's definitely stress. It's definitely challenging, but at the same time, I mean, it's a lot of fun.